Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So I'm kind of excited today because really I liked themed things, okay? As you can see, we're going to be playing with this particular palette right here. And it is going with the theme of Valentine's Day. And today will be the Glamlite Kisses palette, the Special Dark. And this is not an all-in-one palette just like the pink one. I didn't show you swatches of the pink one, I'm sorry. But I did do a review on these, but these are older. These were launched last year at Valentine's Day, and I mean, it is just the cutest little things. Now, when I think of Valentine's Day, I think more of the pink palette. The pinks and the darker maroons and that sort of thing, right? With this, I think of Valentine's Day in possibly a Valentine, that kind of way, but also in a deep, dark way, almost like an anti-Valentine's Day in a sense. But I enjoyed this palette, to be honest with you. When it comes to a purple palette, I actually kind of enjoy this palette, and we'll get into why. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, like I said, these are numbered, not labeled, but I'll try to point to them as I do. But the first shade we're going to go into is the number 2 shade, which is right here, this light lavender purple. I still have the tape on the mirrors, actually, so that's tells you it's an awkward palette that it's cute to look at, but as far as like holding it and storing it, that's a whole other ball game. But we'll start with this lavender pink or purple pink. Yeah, I'm stuck with pinks for some reason. I was actually going to play with the blue palette today, but I didn't feel it, so we went with this one instead. Because I think it is fun sometimes to, play with themed things, even as an adult. It is kind of fun. And the fact that they still have these on their website, also, you can still purchase them, that's fun too to me. Because I hate when things are limited edition, because, yes, I can use it over and over and over again, but to talk about it, gets kind of boring. Because even like if my daughter or somebody's in here while I'm doing my makeup and I'm talking to her, my makeup's, what I'm using still comes up. Either I'm like excited over it or. So I kind of treat doing this like that. Like if, somebody's in the room with me and what I think about it. And like I would love to do a full face, but we could be here for hours, considering it takes me this long just to do eyeshadow. But I think it's because I'm not a makeup artist, and I'm just doing the best that I can, like all of us. And granted, if I'm going quick, I can throw something on, it generally, it would take me probably about 30 minutes, to be honest. Even if it's nothing like special. To do it would take me about 30 minutes. But at the same time, I don't care to go out with nothing on. I do this because it's like a escape. I'm in my own little world. Now, I don't know about you all, but I really like my own little world. I know it's not a world that could ever exist. But I do think that we could get along, in this world. Even with all the different opinions and ways of living, I just feel like there has to be a way. You would think. But with so many people and so many opinions, I guess it's pretty much impossible to get along. So it seems, anyway. Now, this is not going to be an everyday palette either. I'll say that also. It doesn't make it any less prettier, but it's not an everyday palette for me by no means. But if I am feeling a purple look, this is one of the ones I do consider a lot of the times. Just because I'm taking that same shade and running along the lower lash line. Partly because, like, I get along with the Glamlite formula because I know how it is. And I do think, like, the packaging is cute. And that's a piece of itself, you know what I mean? A talking piece. Like, when somebody sees this, they just, where'd you get that? You know, type of thing. And the color story is so pretty. Now, it doesn't have my inner corner highlight in it, but it does go light to dark, nonetheless. And like I said, I can always use my highlighter to do that, and that's what I did in today's look. I just used my highlighter, which I am so excited to talk about because I found it earlier today. A palette with blush, highlighter, and bronzer, and I forgot how good it is. But it makes me question and want to ask you all about the brand, which we'll get to in a minute. So are you all into Valentine's Day or not? Is it, we're going to go into the number 1 shade now. Is it a, right here, this one right there, we're going to go into. Is Valentine's Day something you look forward to, or is it something that you're like, it's just another day? You know, is it an anti-Valentine's Day thing? Like, you don't like it at all? Like, what are your feelings on it, by chance? Mine, I kind of get it. I kind of get Valentine's Day, and the thought of it is cute. Don't get me wrong, like Cupid and all that. It's adorable little thought. But for me, I mean, you know, I've been with my fiance for 13 years. So to me, it's kind of like, yes, it's a day for just the two of us, but A, we never go out on Valentine's Day. We either go out before or after. One of the two, never on it, because it's just so busy and hectic, and we just ain't into that, you know. So I guess we do a little something for each other, but I mean, we're with each other every day, so it's like every day's Valentine's Day in a sense. But I do understand it as far as, like, if you're dating, or if you're living far apart, or if you travel for work, you know, making it that one day that you come together. But I'm not into it like that. But there's a lot of people that are, and I get it. I mean, there's people that know, like, their first kiss, the anniversary of that, or the first time they met, and I'm like, no, I couldn't tell you all that now. I do get the anniversary part, you know, like when you're married or proposal, something like that. That I get, if you remember that day. But the first time I kissed, no, not after 13 years, I don't remember that date. But, yeah, it's neither here nor there for me, the way I see Valentine's Day. I think it is cute as far as the holiday and stuff. And it does have a lot of marketing that can go with it. This color blends and builds so well on top of itself, you all, so well. And it blends beautifully into that previous color. Alright, now we're going to take that same shade number one and run it along the lower lash line, but right up on it. I would say go into these with a very light hand because they are pigmented, as all Glamlite shadows are. If you're scared of color, and I mean, if you get too much, it will blend, but I just suggest going in with a slow, you know, a small amount, knock the stuff off your brush and stuff, you know, because it can get out of hand real quick. Not so much with these shades, but the darker you get with Glamlite shades, woo, they've got pigment. And I'm kind of impressed. I didn't get any fallout today. Not even a little bit, which kind of impressed me on that one. Because yesterday I did get a little bit on my one eye, and then of course the eye I filmed, I got a good bit of fallout because I just rushed it. Alright, now that I got that on, and blended, I'm going to go back into the first shade that I used, number 2. Because I don't want to lose that color. I really, really get so mad at the way my eyes are shaped because they're just so different. And the funny thing is when I was younger, I'd never noticed it, but I never really stared at myself that much either. Even doing my makeup, it was pretty quick, you know? Because I just didn't care. And of course, we all had that line of demarcation, you know? It was a fun time for us all. But these colors, and again, like the last palette, the gradient that this palette has is just as good as that last palette. The pink one, these colors are just like made for each other. Completely made for each other. It's so crazy how they really are made for each other. If that's what you're looking for, is that gradient effect. And I'm using my Morphe brushes again. They're still going good, still being soft. Okay. Now here's where it gets a little scary. We are going to go into shade number 5, which isn't the darkest, but this shade is very dark, and it's right here. This one right there. This one here is technically the darkest, but this one is pretty dark. This one here is the one I'm playing with right now, and then that one's the darkest one right there. And this one is so pretty to line with, and you'll see in a minute. So I got that darkest shade. Let's knock a little bit of that off. And we're going to attempt to put this just in this outer corner here. And blend. And remember, wherever you lay this, that's where most of the pigment is going to be. And like I said, with this shade, I did very small amounts at a time. because I already knew. That Glamlite shadows do not play at all. They come to work. And that's not a bad thing, but it can be with a beginner like myself who is scared of color. Because of the mess up. Even though I've kind of gotten to the point now where even if I mess up, it's like it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Because it's going to wash off in the end, you know? You can take it off. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect because I'm not a makeup artist, you know? But it's hard to accept that, you know? It's like you try so hard to get this look that you've imagined in your head that you just want to get that, but sometimes it unfortunately just doesn't work. I will say no matter what, if you pop a shiny shade on your lid, the look will come together like no tomorrow. It really will. You'll love the look in the end, I promise. And I've heard if you pop lashes on. Now, I can say that that is probably true because I've tried it, popping lashes on. However, I can never get them to stay, or they don't look right on me because I can't get them, you know, glued down right. But I do think those two rules of thumb is true. No matter what the eye look looks like, if you pop a nice shiny shade on the lid, or if you put lashes on, I think it'll fix your problem immediately. The shape of these two eyes is what always gets me, to be honest. Just because they're just so different. Like, it's so weird. I don't know if you've ever really, like, looked at your eyes. But mine are so different. One is more downturned than the other. And one's more lazy. Like, I got a lazy eye. And then I got hooded eyes. And I'm like, I cannot win for losing when it comes to trying to match these up just a little bit. There is a lot of blending, but there's not patchiness or anything with these shadows. Like Glamlite's formula, it is truly good. I think that their price point, the packaging, everything is really cute. If you like it, you'll love it. Whether it be the packaging or the color story, that's up to you. But whatever you choose, you will love it. That's not a question, I don't think. I feel like you would anyway, hands down. It's just, when you're a beginner, I'm going to go into shade number 1 again. When you're a beginner, you don't really know, like, when to stop, when to add. Like, you just don't know. And it's a guessing game. And it is a lot of back and forth. But I don't know if you can see the gradient in them. Like, the colors are just so perfect for the gradient look. And like I said, you could take this even darker if you chose, because there is one more shade. But this is about as dark as I feel comfortable with doing. But I know some people like to go darker. That's why I'm letting you know that if you chose to go just a little bit darker, you could. Now I'm going to go back into that number 2 shade, which is the first shade we used, to blend that shade out. I just want to make sure I, get it blended right. And then the magical color comes next. Alright. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. We're going to take that same shade, number 5, that I used on my outer corner, and I'm going to place it right up on the lash line here. As close as I possibly can. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll go into this color. And then, because like I said, it is a lot of back and forth with colors. And I found another brush almost like the It Cosmetic brush that I like so well. It's the Lunar Magic one. And it is so pretty to put onto your to use for your lower lashes. Now we're going to go into number 1 again and run it on the lash line. And then back into number 2. Because I just feel like all colors, like, you need to make sure you can see them all, because they all play a part, I think, in a look. And maybe I'm wrong, and it's not that big of a deal, but in my head, it's a big deal. And I really think the green, or the purple, is really bringing out my green eyes. Okay, now for the magical color, number 4, which is this one here. In the end, the only shade I won't use is this one, which is that one right there. I didn't use this shade in my look at all, but this is the one we're going to put on the lid. So number 4. And this shade is so creamy, buttery, like there's no flaking, it's just, and I'm not laying nothing down, it's just so beautiful. And I'm going to do what I usually do, just push and press, sort of drag it. It's almost, I don't know, it looks pink, it looks purple, like, it's a really pretty color. Well, it's definitely purple, but it's got like a hint of pink running through it, I think. And that's the first layer. Now we're going to go apply a second layer, and then this is where it just, because I'm just going to pat it all over basically to build it up. And it's really nice because like it doesn't move throughout the day. It doesn't drop like some shadows will. It just stays right on my lid. Just like that. Okay, then I took the darkest shade in here, number 6, which is this one right here. And I'm going to use it just to line my top lash line. And basically all I'm doing is just pushing this up in there with this brush. Which, if you all know, this is my favorite brush that Red Forever came out with. It is just so freaking perfect for this. For top and bottom, to be honest. It is so small and so precise, it's crazy. And see, I need things to be very small and precise because my eyes, you know, are hooded and old and wrinkly. Okay. I'm sorry that I can't talk through this, y'all. I get so nervous because one little twitch and I can mess the whole look up. Because this, see, I can fix that though, but this is such a very pigmented color. But because of that, it works wonderful as a liner. I'm just trying to fix that a little bit so it's not so noticeable where I kind of blinked into it and it. But at the same time, it's not going to be a perfect look, and I'm okay with that. But doesn't mean I can't try to fix it either. A little bit, anyway. Now we're just going to do a little blend. I'm going to go back in with that number 5 brush. And then you guessed it, we're going to go in with the number 1 brush. And then in with the number 2 brush. And then for highlighter, for my inner corner, I'm going to use the highlighter that I used today for my cheeks, which is the Kylie Cosmetics. It's called the Pressed Powder Face Palette, and it just says Kylie, but it's got Ice Me Out, Cheers Darling, Baddie in the Block, and Toasty, and I just adore all these shades right here, these 3. This one here is alright, but it's a little too dark for me. In the summertime, I could maybe use it, but these 3 are great. I love the bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter. I really do think this was a really good palette. Now, I do not know, this was what I asked you. I have not purchased anything from her brand since she got purchased. So I'm not really sure on if the quality is better, the same, whatever. Like, I truly do not know. But I'm curious if you all know. Have you all tried it? Or, you know, do you know anything about it? I don't know nothing about it, to be honest. And because I do like this so much, I'm wondering if I should maybe give it a chance, you know? There we go. I was like, I have a sleepy and I can't get it. But I do think that this was the perfect highlighter for my inner corner. It gave me just what I needed. And that's it. We are done. Okay. Then for mascara, let me get rid of all these brushes now that we're done with these. I'm going to curl my lashes. For eyeliner, I use the ColourPop. Amethyst Hour for my waterline top and bottom. And then for mascara for top lashes, I should have used the pink mascara yesterday when I did the pink look, but I didn't from Pat. I missed my mark. Missed my chance. I'm sure I'll have other chances though. But I'm going to use the Dark Star, the black one, for the top lashes. I really do feel like I missed my mark on that one to use the pink mascara. It's just hard to remember them, to be honest. Like, it's usually black, well, brown. I love my brown from Too Faced, but I think she should come out with a brown in her formula. Especially because I think it goes so well with a lot of her palettes. Surprised she hasn't came out with a Grwm. I am going to do the blue palette, I think, tomorrow. And I will wear the blue mascara from her line. I'm going to put it right on my desk so I see it and know. To use it. I don't mind this one, this mascara, to be honest. Okay, that's the first coat. For bottom lashes, I'm going to go into the Lancome Death Seals. And I really like this mascara. Said that in the last video. For bottom lashes, but I need to find another one so I can kind of mix it up for y'all, because I know that you probably don't want to see the same mascara, but when you find something that's good, it's like, why not? I'm actually seeing. I don't know what that was. Anywho. Okay. Oops. I'll clean that in a minute. I knew it was going to happen. We all know I'm going to mess up on mascara at some point. Just the question of when. Let's be honest with each other. Top lashes, one more coat. I thought, oh Lord, I was like, man, this is so not my day if I just did that. I really thought I got that all over my nose. I've done that before. I mean, my lashes aren't the best to begin with, but I do think this mascara makes them look okay. And the wand's not too bad. It's not too big or bulky or anything like that either. And it definitely gives me, like, volume. Gives me a little bit of length. length, but definitely more volume than anything. But it's so nice to take off at night too. Okay. I mean, I know I'm probably scaring everybody, like, oh, she's going to hit something. I'm going to mess up with this, because that's usually what I do. But the only mess up I got is right here in the corner, and then I'll brush it away. You can take a final look and be done. Because when it comes to these kind of shadows, unfortunately, I'm just so slow. But I want to show you how long it could take to do an eyeshadow look too, for real time. So this is the palette, especially from a beginner's point of view. Okay, I'm no makeup artist. I'm sure a makeup artist could probably have done this in 5 seconds. Maybe 5 minutes, to be honest. But I'm not that, so this is what we got. But I absolutely love this little palette. I think it's not my favorite out of the bunch, out of all of them, but it is up there. And for $18, when I think of a purple palette, this is the one I think of. Good quality. The shadows last all day. I have no issues out of them. So I will let you go because I have spent way too much time in this video. I apologize for the length. I ramble. It takes a long time. I'm so sorry. I'll try to start knocking it down somehow, or choosing looks that will be so much easier, something, because I know that it's so long to listen to. But I will see you in the next one, and until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.